airs. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fact Drop, the channel where we break down world events and hidden truths in just minutes. Today we're re-answering a big question. Why did Israel and the United States launch a military strike on Iran? Stay with us. Iran's nuclear program has always been a major concern for both Iran, Israel, and other Western countries. First, intelligence reports suggesting Iran was closer than ever to building a nuclear bomb. Second, diplomatic talks that have failed to stop Iran's nuclear program. And third, collapsing secret negotiations to address these concerns. As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated, they had two options: accept a bad deal or take military action. They chose the latter. By striking these bases, Iran aims to inflict maximum damage on its adversaries, while also sending a message that the attacks are not isolated incidents. It's a tit-for-tat response designed to escalate tensions and potentially provoke further military action. Israel considers a nuclear-armed Iran an existential threat, fearing Iran could use nuclear weapons directly or empower its allies like Hezbollah. For now, Iranian leaders have declared victory, emphasizing that they successfully targeted U.S. Israeli bases. On the other hand, Israel sees the operation as a success, highlighting the significant damage inflicted on Iran's nuclear program. It'll be crucial to watch how both Iran and Israel respond to these attacks in the coming days. If tensions continue to rise, we could be in for a turbulent period in Middle Eastern history. Check out our podcast where we dive even deeper into these global power struggles, hidden agendas, and everything in between. Just search for Fact Drop wherever you get your podcasts and join us for new episodes every Wednesday and Friday. We'll see you there. But if cooler heads prevail and the international community steps in to mediate, there's still a chance for de-escalation. Now that things have been set in motion, the region could see further escalation, drawing in other regional powers and possibly sparking a larger conflict. The U.S. has long been an ally of Israel, providing military and diplomatic support in the region. Some experts suggest that under intense international pressure, both Iran and Israel may be pushed back to the negotiating table. The recent attacks then could be seen as a final effort to secure favorable terms. Iran's nuclear program has been a thorn in the side of international diplomacy for years. The economic impact of sanctions and the potential for a wider conflict have investors on edge. Oil prices spiked immediately following the news of the strikes, indicating the severity of the situation. Others, however, believe this is just the beginning. Key nuclear sites were severely damaged, setting their nuclear program back by at least 6 months. However, Iran vowed swift and severe retaliation. Within hours, they launched ballistic missiles at Israeli military bases and U.S. assets in the region, specifically targeting facilities in Syria and Iraq. So why now? What finally pushed them over the edge? For decades, tensions between Iran, Israel, and the United States have been high. Well, it comes down to a few key points. The U.S. stood by its ally, providing air support, intelligence, and cyber warfare tools to weaken Iran's air defense systems. But why would the U.S. risk getting involved in this conflict? Well, a nuclear-armed Iran would pose a serious threat to American interests in the region. Moreover, allowing Israel to face this threat alone would have been diplomatically and morally challenging for the U.S. So, they took action together. In this scenario, Israel launched targeted airstrikes on key nuclear facilities inside Iran, aiming to slow or destroy its nuclear capability. The immediate aftermath saw Iran reeling from the surprise attack. But why target these areas? Well, these bases house U.S. troops and Israeli defense assets, making them crucial for any military response. As the dust settles, the international community is left wondering about the future of this conflict. However, the real question is what happens next. Will this conflict escalate into a wider regional war, or will it serve as a final warning before things get really ugly? Tensions have been high for years, and military action could have been the only option left to address Iran's nuclear threat. And let's not forget the role of global markets. The immediate fallout has been significant. But the road ahead remains uncertain. Only time will tell which path they'll take. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you're still hungry for more knowledge, we've got the perfect stuff for you.